Climate change is one of the top threats to global health in 21st century. I think we all realize that main cause behind climate change is human behavior and human actions. But something that we do not realize is that climate change is not just affecting our planet, it is also damaging our mental and physical health. Some of the direct effects of climate change on our mental health include inability to concentrate, confusion, exhaustion, lethargy, and decrease in cognitive abilities as a result of lack of oxygen and large amount of carbon in air. Our brain needs oxygen to work effectively. As a result of climate change, we are inhaling polluted air, which is causing lack of oxygen supply to brain and other vital organs. This affects our health adversely. Despite these physical effects, we are still continuing in using the habits and behaviors which are damaging our climate and our planet. The reason behind this is that we may mentally acknowledge that some action should be taken, but there are certain mental barriers which stop us from changing our behavior and taking action. These mental barriers are psychological in nature and are caused by climate anxiety. Climate anxiety or eco-anxiety can be defined as heightened emotional, mental, and somatic distress in response to dangerous changes taking place in climate system. Climate anxiety can cause us to feel relationship strain, distress, depression, helplessness, and hopelessness. And these mental health problems have intensified during the time of COVID-19. The cause for climate anxiety and these mental barriers arise from climate catastrophe and the feeling of apprehension that our natural resources are depleting. We are not certain about our future, yet we are not doing anything about it. This situation is called cognitive dissonance. It can be defined as a state having conflicting attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors, which causes mental disturbance and leads to an alteration in one of the attitudes, beliefs, or behaviors in order to reduce discomfort and to restore balance. Unless we know how to work with dissonance, we will come up against resistance, reaction, and reactivity. Cognitive dissonance may stop us from taking climate-saving actions and changing our behavior. Therefore, it is very important to address cognitive dissonance, to reduce climate anxiety and to remove psychological barriers. It is not enough to run awareness campaigns and lecture people about the hazards of climate change. We need to provide them with positive tools to tackle with the situation and to deal with cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance can be resolved by following certain conscious steps. First of all, acknowledge. Acknowledge that you are experiencing cognitive dissonance. In this case, acknowledge that we are the problem and we need to change and we need to take action. Secondly, acquire new information that outweighs the importance of dissonant belief. Creating awareness is an important aspect of this step. This can be done at an individual or at communal level. Read more, educate yourself. Try to find out how you're related to the problem and what you can do to solve it. If you're an educator, educate your students about climate change. If you're a researcher or a chemist, try to find out how your profession is related to climate change and what you can do for climate activism. Unless we acquire such necessary information, we will stay in our ignorant states and won't be able to combat cognitive dissonance. New information can be our weapon and ally. Thirdly, change just one action. Modify just one belief. It is often very difficult to change well-learned behavioral responses, especially the ones which other people around us are also following. Let's take the example of smoking. One may acknowledge that smoking is injurious to health, but smokers often do not easily give up on this habit. Other climate damaging behavior include buying single-use plastic bottles and using eco-unfriendly materials. We need to make conscious efforts to change one behavior. Take a pledge, here and now. Stick to the pledge and do not compromise or back down in the face of opposition. Begin small. Give achievable goals to your children and to yourself. When we see the results of our action, a link between the new action and the associated sense of satisfaction is established. That produces positive thought, chain, or loop, which counterbalance the negative loop of cognitive dissonance. Positive thoughts are motivating factors in initiating new behaviors and maintaining continued participation. Continued participation leads to habit formation, and habit formation brings about a change. The last step is to reduce the perceived importance of negative cognitions. For example, anxiety caused by one's future apprehension that the world is going to end can be reduced by engaging in positive self-assertions and talking about the beauty of our planet. So stay positive, seek a circle of support, and do not get yourself be overpowered by the feeling of doom, helplessness, or hopelessness. Thank you so much.